Few people in American history have embodied heroism and celebrity as profoundly as Audie Murphy. In this video, we delve into the remarkable life of a man who transitioned from the most decorated U.S. soldier in World War II to a celebrated Hollywood star. Early life marked by adversity. Audie Murphy's early life stands in stark contrast to the fame and military acclaim that came to define him. He was born June 20, 1925 in Kingston, Texas, as the seventh of 12 children, in a family of poor sharecroppers of Irish descent. His childhood was spent drifting across rural northeastern Texas as his family struggled to survive by picking cotton and seasonal crops near towns like Farmersville, Greenville, and Celeste. Young Audie faced tremendous hardship and instability during these formative years. His father, Emmett Barry Murphy, drifted in and out of the family's life, eventually deserting them altogether when Audie was a child. Tragedy struck again in 1941 when Audie's mother, Josie Bell, died of endocarditis and pneumonia, leaving 16-year-old Audie responsible for supporting his 6 younger siblings. Despite having only a 5th-grade education, Audie worked any job he could find, often for only $1 a day, picking cotton. The loss of their mother had a profound psychological impact on Audie and his siblings, eventually forcing the 3 youngest children into an orphanage when Audie could no longer provide for them. Answering his call to serve. The immense responsibility he shouldered to provide for his family made him mature. He developed impressive skills hunting small game to feed his siblings, becoming an expert marksman. Yet underneath the stoic exterior, the loss of his mother left a painful void. Despite the relentless hardship, he harbored a burning desire to serve his country, especially after the bombing of Pearl Harbor in December 1941. He tried to enlist but was initially rejected for being underweight and underage. He persisted until finally being accepted into the U.S. Army in June of 1942, after his sister Corinne provided an affidavit falsely attesting he was 18. Distinguished service career. His military career began with basic training at Camp Walters, Texas, followed by advanced infantry training at Fort Meade, Maryland. He was assigned to Company B, 1st Battalion, 15th Infantry Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division in 1943. His division shipped out to French Morocco later that year to fight the Tunisia campaign. Over the next 2 years, he displayed extraordinary heroism while fighting across North Africa, Italy, France, and Germany, quickly rising from private to staff sergeant. By 1945, at age 19, he had earned every military combat award this nation would bestow, along with additional decorations from France and Belgium. The pinnacle of his heroism came January 26, 1945, near Holzweiler, France, when he climbed atop a burning tank destroyer and single-handedly held off an onslaught by 6 German tanks and over 200 infantrymen, killing or wounding 50 enemy soldiers. His actions that day earned him the Medal of Honor and cemented his legacy as one of history's most decorated combat soldiers. Movie career. Upon returning home after the war as a highly decorated hero, Audie Murphy found the transition to civilian life difficult. He suffered from what we now know as post-traumatic stress disorder, grappling privately with the invisible wounds of war. With support from family and fellow actor James Cagney, Audie moved to Hollywood in 1945, seeking a new path. Despite initial struggles and doubts about his acting chops, he went on to have a successful 21-year film career, starring in over 40 films, including many westerns. In 1955, he played himself in the film adaptation of his wartime autobiography, To Hell and Back, which became Universal Studios' highest-grossing picture to date. Over the next 15 years, he appeared alongside legendary actors like James Stewart, Henry Fonda, and John Wayne. Yet his movie fame couldn't eclipse the personal financial troubles and mental health struggles he battled privately for decades. Tragic death and enduring legacy. Audie Murphy's life came to a tragic end on May 28, 1971, when he died in a private plane crash near Roanoke, Virginia. His gravesite at Arlington National Cemetery remains one of its most visited. Murphy left behind a powerful legacy of battlefield gallantry and movie stardom. But he also became a vocal advocate for veterans' mental health later in life, openly discussing his struggles with PTSD and imploring the government to provide better psychiatric care for soldiers. His advocacy was visionary at the time and influenced policy changes to support troops returning from Vietnam. On June 20th each year, the state of Texas marks Audie Murphy Day in honor of his birthday and unique journey from hardship to war hero and movie star. Murphy's tale of courage under fire and resilience in the face of adversity continues inspiring soldiers and civilians around the world over 70 years later. He remains one of America's most legendary combat veterans. Other celebrated war heroes. While Audie stands in rarefied air, he's not the only war hero whose battlefield gallantry earned both military acclaim and wider celebrity. Fellow Medal of Honor recipient and Marine icon Louis B. Chesty Puller entered the Corps shortly before World War I and served with distinction until 1955. Like Murphy, Puller displayed extraordinary courage under fire, leading assaults on Japanese positions during World War II and commanding Marines at the Chosin Reservoir during the Korean War's brutal winter. The barrel-chested Puller remains a towering figure in Marine lore. Young naval aviator George H.W. Bush embodied selfless service when his TBM Avenger aircraft was hit by Japanese fire during a bombing run in 1944. With his engine ablaze, Bush stayed at the controls to drop his bombs on target before bailing out over the Pacific and being rescued by a submarine. That steel nerve served him well as a congressman, CIA director, vice president, and president. The late Senator John McCain's 5 years suffering as a POW in North Vietnam after his Navy fighter jet was shot down cemented his reputation for duty and sacrifice. McCain refused early release, enduring torture and beatings while rallying fellow prisoners. His stoic valor enhanced his moral authority as a leading political voice until his death. Other soldiers like Alvin York, J.D. Salinger, and Jimmy Stewart returned from World War II as A-list celebrities whose battlefield exploits matched their Hollywood appeal. Stewart's distinguished service as a B-24 pilot inspired a generation to enter military aviation, just as Murphy did for the infantry. African-American service members like Doris "Dory" Miller rose to fame for their courage under fire, such as Miller manning a machine gun during Pearl Harbor. Our modern special operation legends like Michael Durant and Marcus Luttrell carry Murphy's elite warrior legacy today. And global icons like Prince Harry uphold Murphy's warrior ethos in a new era. Like Audie Murphy, these heroes answered their nation's call to arms when needed most. Their steadfast dedication through fire marked them as leaders destined for service, and their grace under pressure in combat continues inspiring fellow citizens and soldiers worldwide. Murphy would instantly recognize their shared fraternal bonds across wars and generations. Now it's time to hear from you. How do you think Murphy's openness about his struggles with PTSD impacted perceptions of mental health in veterans? Let us know in the comments section below.